as I sit here in this space, I was thinking and reflecting about my relationship with nature, my relationship with animals, period, but more so my relationship with the birds. And the thought keep occurring to me. It take a long time to grow an old friend. Now that I let it marinate, I'm gonna say it again. It take a long time to grow an old friend. And that's pretty much the relationship I have made with nature, and particularly the bird species. See, when I tap into the places that we be afraid to go into, it's like walking out of a burning building. See, what sounds slick ain't meant to sound slick. It's a lot of experience. It's a lot of experience. And I'm gonna say again, it's a lot of experience behind the things that I say. So, deeply analyze the things that come forth from this vehicle. The birds told me if we could see fish underwater. The birds told me if they could see fish underwater, how do we think they see us? They can see fish in the water from way above. Who knows how many feet they be at some instances. But if they can see fish, if they can see food underwater, how do we think we see us? That was a humbling download, because I recognize that divine intelligence was testing me. Not only testing me, but through the birds, observing how I was going to make it through the test or not. It takes a long time to grow an old friend. So that means we're going to have patience. That means we're going to have determination. That means we're going to have persistence. That means we're going to have diligence. And that also means we're going to have some type of resilience. Just enough to get you through, not too much to get you burnt. You're going to have to rewind it to catch it. It's a call teacher. I ain't tapped in yesterday because I was aware that most of the world was probably watching football. And I even found myself watching football. I haven't watched football in like 20-something odd years, but my son and grandson was visited previously, so I found myself enjoying watching football in a family setting. Something I don't remember ever doing. So I recognize the many parts that things be playing when they playing a part in the part that we play. But as I was observing the football game, the thought occurred to me and I wrote it down. For all of us who into sports, not just football, but sports in general. I'm not neither here or there about it, right, wrong, or indifference. But sports was speaking to me. Sports allowed me to reflect the games themselves with life itself. The only difference is life not a game. Because we don't get to stay here. Somebody will catch it. But sports is like football in the way that it reflects life, in the sense that you don't know how valuable a player is until you lose them. We saw that with Eagles versus 49ers. We see them go through not one player, not two players, not three players, but like 4 players. We don't know how valuable a person is until we lose them. But hard work is the hard work, right? Hard work is the hard work, correct? We're going to go into the cards. B. Hard work is the hard work. Show you how synchronicity happens when you're in alignment. Because my last word was, or phrase was, hard work is the hard work. And the B wants us to spread heart healing with joy. See, you got to be a certain kind of soul to spread heart healing with joy when you done been through a whole lot of pain. I'm going to say it again. You have to be a certain type of soul to be able to spread heart healing with joy when you done been through a whole lot of pain. But my name is Saiwoo the God. We're going to see what the B talking about today. We're almost through with these cards. B. Spread heart healing with joy. Bees are 5th dimensional insects who come from the Pleiades, the wondrous plane of heart healing. Their service work is to be pollinators for Earth, and so they are instrumental in the survival of our planet. Better believe it. Gotta put some respect on bees' name. They travel enormous distances to collect nectar to make honey. And wherever they go, they happily pour healing into the land, animals, and people. Angels use the vibration of their humming sound to communicate love to those in the vicinity. Bees' hives are built according to sacred geometry. Y'all see it? Bees' hives are built according to sacred geometry, and angels always sang over them to hold the frequency high. Fairies and other elementals gather around the hives to bathe in this angelic light. Pixies, who are earth elementals, lead bees to flowers to ensure that they pollinate as many as they can. Their sole mission is to teach about sacred geometry and to spread Pleiadian heart healing. guidance. The B card reminds you to do everything with joy. Feel good. In the words of Saiwoo, that's my phrase, feel good for no reason at all. If you can feel good for no reason at all, you will find yourself doing everything with joy. The B card reminds us to do everything with joy. When you serve others and the planet with your heart open, an alchemical change takes place both in the giver and the receiver. To those of us who carry healing energy in our frequency, this is important to pay attention to. When you serve others and the planet with your heart open, an alchemical change takes place both in the giver and the receiver. This is how you change your world. This is how you change your environment. But most of all, this is how you do it in yourself. You become one and thus spread oneness throughout the universe. So if I am you, this is a message from yourself. Solidarity and togetherness grow in the consciousness of the world. So let your actions be purposeful and allow the higher purpose to work through you and guide you. Then your life flows and the highest good always unfolds for you. And that's my secret. Living that spirit life, you gotta trust it. And just know that whatever you go through, it's always gonna unfold for your highest good. And that's not an easy mind state to walk through life in. You gotta train yourself, discipline yourself, bend yourself to get there, but don't break on the way. The bees also guide you to remember the power and light conferred by the use of sacred geometry. Use its principles in your home. See, there go the dogs again. Discipline in the home as well as the community. Use its principles in your home and workplace, and the angels will sing over you, bringing light and peace. Everybody can't go with you. Everybody don't want to go with you. And that may be just as hard to accept as everybody can't go with you. If it's one thing people took for granted about me, and probably you too, is how highly intuitive, how highly psychic, how highly tapped in I really am. I really been, and I really always was. All bartenders don't serve drinks behind the bar. So this is what we having. Shadow work. What does that mean? All bartenders don't serve drinks behind the bar. So what are y'all having? What does that mean? I'm a spiritual bartender, and shadow work is a hands-off. I'm gonna say it again. Shadow work is a hands-off procedure. Or if I'm a surgeon, shadow work is a hands-off procedure. Picture a vision of a spiritual being. Picture yourself as a spiritual being that can go towards the sun. Sun representing light, the most brightest, brilliantest light that you can conjure in your mind. Picture a vision of you as a spiritual being that can go towards the light. And along your journey, you start to realize that everybody can't go towards the sun. That everybody can't go towards the light. Not because they don't have the potential to, but because they haven't chose to. And you start to realize that you can no longer choose for them to go towards the light because you have chose to go towards the light, the sun. And for those that don't want the light, just what it do for them, or what it can do for them, you start to notice them too. Now we know that the closer that we get to the light, the closer that we get to the sun, things are going to start to burn up. But you're not going to burn up. But we know that the closer we get to the sun, the closer we get to the light, that thing's going to burn up. Because we know heat causes things to burn. But we're not going to burn up. But everything we trying to pull along with us, that shit going to get burnt. Is anybody listening? See, it's time for the mature. It's time for those of us who see ourselves mature to present ourselves as mature in all situations and outgrow situations. So, those of us who are on our way there, it's only a choice to outgrow situations and get into your flame. Understand who you are and what you want. And when you finally do, when you finally embrace that and are able to accept both sides of all that come with it, you'll start to see that whatever it is around you, whether it's people, places, or things, that's got you going through what you've been going through for who knows how long, that's no longer a part of your journey, no longer a part of your life, and no longer a part of your vibration. It's no longer worth your time, energy, effort, or value. Why? Because it just can't go with you. See, I was passed the torch by my ancestors and in my spiritual bloodline, because my spiritual bloodline is different from my biological bloodline. So everybody in our physical family, not of our spiritual family. But I was passed the torch by my ancestors that came before me. And in my spiritual bloodline, I ain't the first one, but they want me to make it known I'm the best one, whoever did it. And I am Saiwoo. Stillness, abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Peace, family, raw and uncut.